Welcome to Passion Travel. Explore world street food, captivating vlogs, and inspiring journeys with us. Subscribe to experience adventure in every video. Petits Farcis, stuffed vegetables, often with meat and breadcrumbs. Recipe for Petits Farcis, a delicious French dish of stuffed vegetables. Ingredients: for small zucchinis, courgettes. For small tomatoes, 2 small bell peppers, red or green. 1 small eggplant, aubergine. 200 g ground beef or pork. 1 onion, finely chopped. 2 cloves garlic, minced. Half a cup cooked rice. 2 tablespoons chopped fresh parsley. 1/2 teaspoon dried thyme. Salt and pepper to taste. Olive oil for cooking. Grated cheese, optional, for topping. Instructions: prepare the vegetables. Wash all the vegetables thoroughly. Cut the tops off the zucchinis, tomatoes, and bell peppers, and hollow out the insides, removing seeds and membranes. Keep the hollowed-out vegetable shells aside. Peel the eggplant and dice it into small pieces. Set aside. Prepare the filling. In a skillet, heat a tablespoon of olive oil over medium heat. Add the chopped onion and minced garlic, and sauté until softened and fragrant, about 3 to 4 minutes. Add the ground meat to the skillet and cook until browned, breaking it apart with a spatula as it cooks. Stir in the diced eggplant and cook for another 5 minutes until softened. Add the cooked rice, chopped parsley, dried thyme, salt, and pepper to the skillet. Mix everything together well and cook for an additional 2 to 3 minutes. Remove from heat and let the filling cool slightly. Stuff the vegetables. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Stuff each of the hollowed-out vegetable shells with the filling mixture, pressing it down gently to pack it in. Place the stuffed vegetables in a baking dish. If you have any leftover filling, you can spread it around the vegetables in the dish. If desired, sprinkle grated cheese over the top of each stuffed vegetable. Bake. Drizzle a little olive oil over the stuffed vegetables. Cover the baking dish with foil and bake in the preheated oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, or until the vegetables are tender and the filling is heated through. Serve. Once cooked, remove the stuffed vegetables from the oven and let them cool for a few minutes before serving. Serve the Petits Farcis hot, either as a main dish or as a side dish alongside crusty bread or a green salad. Poulet Basquaise, chicken stew with peppers, tomatoes, and spices. Recipe for Poulet Basquaise, a traditional Basque dish featuring chicken cooked with peppers, tomatoes, and spices. Ingredients: for chicken thighs, bone in and skin on. For chicken drumsticks, bone in and skin on. Salt and black pepper to taste. 2 tablespoons olive oil. 1 onion, finely chopped. 2 cloves garlic, minced. 1 red bell pepper, sliced. 1 green bell pepper, sliced. 2 tomatoes, diced. 1 tablespoon tomato paste. 1 teaspoon paprika. 1/2 teaspoon dried thyme. 1/2 teaspoon dried oregano. 1/4 teaspoon cayenne pepper, optional, for extra heat. Half a cup chicken broth or water. Fresh parsley, chopped, for garnish. Instructions: season the chicken. Season the chicken thighs and drumsticks generously with salt and black pepper on both sides. Sear the chicken. Heat the olive oil in a large skillet or Dutch oven over medium-high heat. Once hot, add the chicken pieces skin side down. Sear the chicken until golden brown on both sides, about 5 to 6 minutes per side. Remove the chicken from the skillet and set aside. Cook the vegetables. In the same skillet, add the chopped onion and minced garlic. Sauté until softened and fragrant, about 3 to 4 minutes. Add the sliced bell peppers to the skillet and cook for another 5 minutes until they begin to soften. Add tomatoes and spices. Stir in the diced tomatoes, tomato paste, paprika, dried thyme, dried oregano, and cayenne pepper, if using. Cook for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring occasionally. Simmer with chicken. Return the seared chicken pieces back to the skillet, nestling them into the vegetable mixture. Pour the chicken broth or water over the chicken and vegetables. Bring the mixture to a simmer. Cover and cook. Reduce the heat to medium-low, cover the skillet or Dutch oven with a lid, and let the Poulet Basquaise simmer gently for 30 to 35 minutes, or until the chicken is cooked through and tender. Serve. Once the chicken is cooked, remove the skillet from the heat. Garnish the Poulet Basquaise with chopped fresh parsley. Serve the dish hot, spooning the flavorful sauce and vegetables over the chicken pieces. Pommes Frites, classic French fries served with various sauces. Recipe for Pommes Frites, the classic French fries. Ingredients. For large potatoes, russet or Yukon Gold. Vegetable oil for frying. Salt to taste. Instructions. Prepare the potatoes. Wash the potatoes thoroughly under cold running water to remove any dirt. Peel the potatoes if desired, although leaving the skin on adds extra texture and flavor. Cut the potatoes. Slice the potatoes lengthwise into even-sized sticks, about 1/4 to half an inch thick. You can use a knife or a mandolin slicer for even cuts. Rinse and dry. Place the potato sticks in a large bowl of cold water. Swirl them around to remove excess starch. Drain the potatoes and pat them dry thoroughly with paper towels or a clean kitchen towel. Removing excess moisture will help achieve crispier fries. Preheat the oil. Pour vegetable oil into a deep fryer or a large, heavy-bottomed pot. You'll need enough oil to fully submerge the potato sticks. Heat the oil to 325 degrees Fahrenheit, 163 degrees Celsius. Use a deep fry thermometer to monitor the temperature. First fry. Once the oil reaches the correct temperature, carefully add a handful of potato sticks to the hot oil, being cautious to avoid splatters. Fry the potatoes in batches for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until they're soft, but not yet golden brown. Remove the partially cooked fries from the oil using a slotted spoon or a spider skimmer, and transfer them to a wire rack or paper towel-lined baking sheet to drain. Second fry. Increase the temperature of the oil to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius. Return the partially cooked fries to the hot oil in batches and fry for an additional 2 to 3 minutes, or until they turn golden brown and crispy. Season and serve. Once the fries are golden and crispy, remove them from the oil and immediately sprinkle them with salt to taste. Caramel au beurre sale, salted butter caramel candies or sauce. Recipe for caramel au beurre sale, also known as salted butter caramel. Ingredients. 1 cup granulated sugar. 6 tablespoons salted butter, cubed. Half a cup heavy cream. 1 teaspoon sea salt flakes, adjust to taste. Instructions. Prepare ingredients. Cube the butter and set it aside. Measure out the heavy cream and set it aside. Have the sea salt flakes ready. Caramelize the sugar. Heat a heavy-bottomed saucepan over medium heat. Add the granulated sugar to the saucepan in an even layer. Let the sugar melt without stirring, swirling the pan occasionally to ensure even melting. Once the sugar has completely melted and turned a golden amber color, reduce the heat to low. Add butter. Carefully add the cubed butter to the melted sugar, stirring continuously with a wooden spoon or heat-resistant spatula until the butter is fully incorporated and the mixture is smooth. Incorporate cream. Slowly pour in the heavy cream while stirring constantly. Be cautious as the mixture may bubble up vigorously. Continue stirring until the cream is fully incorporated and the caramel is smooth and glossy. Add salt. Stir in the sea salt flakes, adjusting the amount to your taste preference. The salt adds a savory contrast to the sweetness of the caramel. Cool and store. Remove the caramel from the heat and let it cool slightly in the saucepan. Once cooled to room temperature, transfer the caramel au beurre sale to a clean glass jar or airtight container for storage. Serve and enjoy. Use the salted butter caramel as a topping for desserts like ice cream, pancakes, waffles, or as a dip for fruit slices. Store any leftover caramel in the refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. Reheat gently before serving if desired. Tarte Normande, apple tart made with almond cream. Recipe for Tarte Normande, a delicious French apple tart with almond cream. Ingredients. For the pastry: 1¼ cups all-purpose flour. ½ cup unsalted butter, cold and diced. 1/4 cup granulated sugar. 1 egg yolk. 2 tablespoons cold water. For the filling: 4 to 5 apples, such as Granny Smith or Gala, peeled, cored, and thinly sliced. 1/4 cup granulated sugar. 1 tablespoon lemon juice. 1/2 teaspoon ground cinnamon. For the almond cream: 1/2 cup almond flour or ground almonds. 1/4 cup granulated sugar. 1/4 cup unsalted butter, softened. 1 egg. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Optional. Confectioner's sugar, for dusting. Instructions. 1. Prepare the pastry. In a large mixing bowl, combine the flour and sugar. Add the cold, diced butter and rub it into the flour mixture using your fingertips until it resembles breadcrumbs. Add the egg yolk and cold water to the mixture, and gently knead until a dough forms. Be careful not to overwork the dough. Shape the dough into a ball, wrap it in plastic wrap, and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes. 2. Preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. 3. Prepare the filling. In a bowl, toss the thinly sliced apples with lemon juice, granulated sugar, and ground cinnamon until well coated. Set aside. 4. Make the almond cream. In another bowl, cream together the softened butter and granulated sugar until light and fluffy. Add the egg and vanilla extract, and beat until smooth. Fold in the almond flour or ground almonds until fully incorporated. 5. Assemble the tart. Roll out the chilled pastry dough on a floured surface to fit a tart pan. Transfer the dough to the tart pan, pressing it gently into the bottom and sides. Spread the almond cream evenly over the bottom of the pastry crust. Arrange the sliced apples in an overlapping pattern on top of the almond cream. 6. Bake. Place the assembled tart in the preheated oven and bake for 30 to 35 minutes, or until the pastry is golden brown and the apples are tender. 7. Serve. Once baked, remove the tart from the oven and let it cool slightly. Optionally, dust the tart with confectioner's sugar before serving. Slice and serve the tarte Normande warm or at room temperature. It pairs wonderfully with a dollop of whipped cream or a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Pommes Dauphin, deep-fried potato and choux pastry balls. Recipe for Pommes Dauphin, a classic French dish made from a mixture of mashed potatoes and choux pastry, deep-fried until golden and crispy. Ingredients. For the potato mixture: 2 large potatoes, peeled and diced. Salt to taste. 2 tablespoons unsalted butter. 1/4 cup milk. Pinch of nutmeg, optional. For the choux pastry: 1/2 cup water. 1/4 cup unsalted butter. 1/2 cup all-purpose flour. 2 eggs. Salt to taste. Vegetable oil for frying. Instructions. 1. Prepare the potato mixture. Place the diced potatoes in a pot of salted water. Bring to a boil and cook until the potatoes are tender, about 15 to 20 minutes. Drain the cooked potatoes and mash them with a potato masher or fork until smooth. Stir in the unsalted butter, milk, and nutmeg, if using, until well combined. Season with salt to taste. Set aside to cool slightly. 2. Make the choux pastry. In a saucepan, bring the water and unsalted butter to a boil over medium heat. Once the butter has melted completely and the mixture is boiling, reduce the heat to low and add the flour all at once. Stir vigorously with a wooden spoon until the mixture forms a smooth dough and pulls away from the sides of the pan. This should take about 1 to 2 minutes. Remove the saucepan from the heat and let the dough cool slightly. 3. Combine potato mixture and choux pastry. Once the choux pastry has cooled slightly, gradually add the mashed potato mixture to the dough, stirring until well combined. The resulting mixture should be smooth and slightly sticky. 4. Shape the Pommes Dauphin. Heat vegetable oil in a deep fryer or heavy-bottomed pot to 350 degrees Fahrenheit 175 degrees Celsius. Using 2 spoons or a small ice cream scoop, shape the potato and choux pastry mixture into small balls, about 1 inch in diameter. Carefully drop the balls into the hot oil in batches, being careful not to overcrowd the fryer. Fry the Pommes Dauphin until golden brown and crispy, about 3 to 4 minutes. Remove with a slotted spoon and drain on paper towels. 5. Serve. Serve the Pommes Dauphin hot as a delicious side dish or appetizer. Optionally, sprinkle with salt or serve with dipping sauces like ketchup or aioli. Moules-frites, steamed mussels served with a side of crispy fries. Recipe for Moules-frites, a classic Belgian dish featuring steamed mussels served with crispy fries. Ingredients. For the mussels: 2 pounds fresh mussels, cleaned and deburred. 2 tablespoons unsalted butter. 2 shallots, finely chopped. 2 cloves garlic, minced. 1 cup dry white wine. Half a cup chicken or vegetable broth. 1/4 cup heavy cream. Salt and pepper to taste. 2 tablespoons chopped fresh parsley. Crusty bread, for serving. For the fries: for large potatoes, preferably russet or Yukon Gold. Vegetable oil for frying. Salt to taste. Instructions. 1. Prepare the mussels. Rinse the mussels under cold running water and scrub them to remove any debris or sand. Discard any mussels with cracked shells or that do not close when tapped. In a large pot or Dutch oven, melt the unsalted butter over medium heat. Add the chopped shallots and minced garlic, and sauté until softened and fragrant, about 2 to 3 minutes. Pour in the dry white wine and chicken or vegetable broth. Bring the liquid to a simmer. 2. Steam the mussels. Add the cleaned mussels to the pot, then cover with a lid. Steam the mussels for 5 to 7 minutes, or until they have opened. Discard any mussels that have not opened after cooking. Once cooked, remove the pot from the heat and stir in the heavy cream. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Sprinkle chopped fresh parsley over the mussels before serving. 3. Prepare the fries. While the mussels are steaming, prepare the fries. Peel the potatoes and cut them into uniform sticks, about 1/4 to half an inch thick. Rinse the potato sticks under cold water to remove excess starch, then pat them dry with a clean kitchen towel or paper towels. Heat vegetable oil in a deep fryer or large pot to 325 degrees Fahrenheit 163 degrees Celsius. Fry the potato sticks in batches until they are pale and cooked through, but not yet crispy, about 5 to 7 minutes per batch. Remove the partially cooked fries from the oil and drain them on paper towels. 4. Fry the fries again. Increase the temperature of the oil to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. Fry the partially cooked fries in batches for a second time until they are golden brown and crispy, about 2 to 3 minutes per batch. Remove the fries from the oil and drain them on paper towels. Season with salt while still hot. 5. Serve. Serve the Moules-frites hot, with the steamed mussels in a large bowl or pot and the crispy fries on the side. Provide crusty bread for dipping into the flavorful broth from the mussels.